Hi everyone, I'm making this video with a very heavy heart and trepidation, as this is rather very personal and classified. It's a narration of my rape encounter with my personal doctor, Dr. Kenneth IKWEGBUE. He's a UK-based practicing gynecologist, and this happened on 14 June 2018. I was subjected to the most unanticipated deceit and rape by my personal doctor, Dr. Kenneth IKWEGBUE. At the time, he was working in Broomfield Hospital, Chelmsford, and living at 11 Railway Street, Chelmsford, CM1, 1 Quebec Sugar, postcode. I had been suffering a severe case of menorrhagia that had continuously endured endlessly from month to month for over 4 years. I had sought different medical help, tests, treatments, and advice, but all to no avail. One of the doctors I consulted recommended I took norethistérone, but due to its extreme side effects with a strong possibility to cause cancer, I did not take the medication for fear of deteriorating my health condition. There was no break or stop in the bleeding, as I bled 30 days every month constantly. The doctors confirmed I did not have fibroid, and I sought help diligently. Upon meeting Dr. Kenneth, he advised me of his expertise in such issues and strongly opined that it was largely due to hormonal imbalance, and that the fact I had decided to stay celibate was a possibly aggravating factor deteriorating the condition. He said he could treat me by placing me on a therapy whereby he had to stimulate my cervix, and he assured me that with time my hormones would stabilize and the menstrual flow would return to normalcy. I was skeptical about this procedure, as he did not recommend any medical tests or prescriptions whatsoever. He said it was more practical than medical, and he said I should pay him cash for every treatment. He recommended his home address at 11 Railway Street, Chelmsford. I was eager to be well, so I conceded to the idea. He commenced the cervix stimulation therapy, and to my utter dismay, upon examining my vagina, he claimed I was not a virgin. I had consciously kept my virginity for over 30 years, and this confirmation from him sowed seeds of doubt in my heart as to whether I had been unconsciously defiled without my knowledge, or if he was lying to me. In the first month of the therapy, my period only flowed for about 7 days instead of the usual 25 to 30 days of non-stop bleeding. I was impressed and thankful, because for the first time in over 4 years, I had a normal menstrual cycle. He continued every week, and within 2 months I was surprised to have my menstrual flow restored to normalcy of about 5 to 6 days flow. Usually I was drained of strength and energy, because anemia drains you of all energy in you and fills you with fatigue, weakness, dizziness. It was a renewal of my life and strength again. It was a renewal of my vigor and youth. I asked him why the other doctors did not suggest this procedure all this time. He said not everyone was as good as him. He said if he ever stopped the therapy, my period would revert back to its original condition. I got worried. when he vehemently began to make sexual strong advances at me, and he proposed sex would be a perfect treatment for the condition. I told him I had made religious vows to abstain from sex. He was insistent and physically dominating, though he would get apologetic after. So I decided to break away gradually. If sex was the solution and cure or treatment for my condition, I was not willing to give in. I had had so many men in the past propose marriage and sexual advances towards me, and I never conceded to the idea due to my religious beliefs, due to my vows of celibacy to God till my marriage. But though I feared a reverse of the healing progress achieved so far, it was during the summer, and due to the change in the weather 2018 summer, I had a severe cold and cough. He suggested my body was reacting to a hormonal imbalance, just as he had predicted that I would suffer if he ever stopped the cervix stimulation therapy. He suggested I came over to his house for some checkup. I had vehemently warned him to refrain from all sexual thoughts or attempts, and he gave me his word not to. Upon arriving, he examined me and gave me some strong antibiotic medication for the cough. He had got a new stereo set and had music blaring so loudly. I asked what the occasion was, and before I knew it, he had locked the doors and pounced on me. I begged and screamed out loud, but no one could hear me, as it was the afternoon of a weekday, with most people at work, and the loud music would not allow the neighbors to hear my cry for help. He claimed I was not a virgin anyways, and I had nothing to lose, but good health would be restored to me. He claimed the sex would guarantee a permanent healing of the bleeding condition. I struggled defiantly, but he overpowered me, pinned me facing down, and shoved his penis inside of me from my back. Instantly I bled out to confirm I was truly a virgin. I cried bitterly and tried to call the police. He seized my phones and covered my mouth and nose. I could not breathe, and I feared he was going to strangle me. I tried to run out naked, but he blocked the entrance to the door and insisted I must calm down and keep things silent in the interest of my safety. I had to comply in fear. He let me out, pleading that I did not divulge a word of anything about it to the police, my family, friends, or anyone at all. He released my phones, and I rushed off to the bathroom. Locking the door behind me, there I made a video of my virginity blood, whilst he stood outside the door threatening me, loudly warning me not to jeopardize his career or life. I have records of the video, our texts, and WhatsApp conversations as proof. When I came out of the bathroom, he had arranged the entire room to disprove any possible claims of force or rape. He said he did not ejaculate inside of me anyways, so there was no proof of his sperm in me. He advised I should not say a word, as it would all boomerang against me. It would be his word against mine. Suddenly he burst out crying, and he apologized, saying I should forgive and help him, just as he had helped me, that he had a strong sexual drive and he could not help himself. I was physically weak, drained of energy from all the struggle, disillusioned and mentally exhausted. Upon confiding in my family about the ugly incident, my mother advised that attracting public attention and making a big case would not restore my virginity or undo the damage done already. She said on the bright side, the bleeding had normalized after many years of intense unending menorrhagia, that almost drained me of all life, energy, and blood, that I had been saved by this doctor, though violated. Life is give and take. I struggle to accept this inhumane deception and put behind me all the bitterness, hate, betrayal, and victimization. But every day of silence has left me dehumanized and burning with grief on the inside. My heart cannot stop pondering about the possibility of him taking advantage of another sick woman or girl. A rapist practicing as a gynecologist in the United Kingdom is a roaming danger to every woman, mother, wife, daughter, sister. This has been weighing on me, and even though I have missed the opportunity of apprehending him at the time of the rape incident, it would be morally responsible for I would be morally responsible for any other victims if I do not pre-warn the necessary authorities and the public to avert any possible future reoccurrences or probabilities. I'm only sharing this out of a sense of moral duty, and I would like to stay anonymous. Whilst he apologized profusely and in tears, he told me it was not his first time of raping a woman, that he had a strong sexual addiction and could not control himself. Examining women's private parts and reproductive organs is the core duty of a gynecologist. For him to be an uncontrollable rapist is a threat to everyone. He told me he needed help but was afraid to seek for help for fear of losing his career. He said he had done several rape cases. He had raped several women and done several abortions illegally, and even harvested the fetus of the woman pregnant for him, his own child. I forgave him because he was apologetic. But it would not be fair to be silent for the sake of another possible victim. I realized he had a mental condition because just a second after apologizing in tears, he was laughing and bragging that he was proud to be the first to defile me. I realized he was sick. I realized he was not in control of his mind. That was the more reason I feared that he could kill me, even without him knowing it. I tried to report to the General Medical Council of the United Kingdom. I wrote to them incessantly, and I sent all the evidence, videos, messages, texts, voice recordings. They were happy to help. Only if I came out as the victim. But I insist on being anonymous, as it would not help my situation, as it would not restore my virginity, as it would not reverse the already done damage. I just want people to be aware. I just want to fulfill my moral obligation and duty to the people. I advise everyone to take note of it. His name is Kenneth IKWEGBUE. Incessantly he called me, trying to renew closure and re-establish a relationship, saying he now lives in Bristol. but I vehemently warned him to steer clear from me. To avoid a possible future hurt or another damage.